2, 3, 4.
Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Oh Brother. Today's movie is From Russia with Love, released in 1963. This movie stars Sean Connery, Pedro Armendariz, Lottie Lenya, Robert Shaw, Bernard Lee, Daniela Bianchi, Eunice Gazin, Lois Maxwell, and Vladek Shabal, based on the novel by Ian Fleming, written by Richard Maybaum and Joanna Harwood, and directed by Terrence Young. Bryce, can you give a quick synopsis for this one?
Absolutely, Drake. Agent 007 is battling a secret crime organization known as Spectre, who are trying to snatch a decoding device known as the Lecter by using Tatiana Romanova to lure Bond into helping them. Bond willingly travels to meet Tatiana in Istanbul, where he must rely on his wits to escape with his life in a series of deadly encounters with the enemy.
I'm proud of you.
Spectre and Lecter are way too similar sound.
Right.
As always, this podcast will include spoilers, but before we get into all that, I want to know, what are your thoughts on villain/antagonist being a mirror of the protagonist?
Yeah, so I mean, in this movie, we have the character Grant, who is a super secret spy created and indoctrinated by Spectre to be like the ultimate enemy to kill, specifically 007. Like we see at the opening of this, he's hunting an actual person who we think is 07, but it's just a dude in a really good mask, which we'll get into all that. But he's supposed to be like, you know, like his opposite, like the same as him, but just evil. And not a big fan of that for me personally. Like we see it all the time, especially in like comic book movies where like the first, like say it's like a trilogy, like the first villain of the trilogy is always like the superhero but evil.
Yeah.
Like you look at like every single one. Like you look at the Incredible Hulk, he was fighting the Abomination, which is just another
Hulk.
Angry dude. You got Iron Man, well all of his enemies are the same thing. It's just a dude in a metal suit, you know? So yeah, I think it happens quite a bit, and I'm not always a huge fan of it. So that kind of threw me for this, but I thought this character actually was pretty good. I enjoyed it because we didn't like spend a deep amount of time getting to know who this guy is or whatever. Like he's just a bad motherfucker, you know?
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I don't know what do you think makes like a good version of this character trope? What in those comic book movies that you listed, like what would make it okay for you if they were to do that?
I think if the villain hated the fact that they were so much like the hero.
Okay.
And it was like, that was kind of like their driving force. Say it's like they grew up together and they both did the same things, but the hero got more recognition.
Sure. They want to be the better version of the thing.
But in doing so, they became worse.
Sure.
So something like that. Kind of, honestly, Voldemort is a really good example.
Okay.
Like in his quest to be the most powerful wizard and to be immortal, not only did he lost it to a 16-year-old, but if you look at like the age of like wizards in that universe, the average lifespan is like 160 or something like that, and he died at 80. So like if he didn't go down that path, he probably would have lived longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know, but as far as like the question goes, I think I don't mind it as much as you do. You're talking about Incredible Hulk, right? But that boss fight, it's pretty awesome.
It's awesome. It is awesome. I'm not going to deny that it can be cool, but I just think as far as like making compelling villains, that's kind of a...
Sure. Yeah, one that you like want to get to know a little bit more about, like what's going on underneath the surface. They're pretty paper thin as far as that goes.
Right.
Yeah. I think this one, like, he serves its purpose, and he's just kind of a shadow for like the first hour and a half, right?
Which I like that. I liked it a lot, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
That he was just this thing.
Yeah, but once he starts talking, I kind of liked it. I like that he's just shitting on Bond, calling him an old man, even though they're probably the same age.
Yeah, I'm like,
I don't really know what to make of that, because like you look at 60s movies, right, and like everyone looks 20 years older than they actually are. Like I think Connery was like 34 when they filmed this thing, which insane.
He looks the same age as my dad now.
Like what was going on back then, you know? I mean, probably a lot of hard drugs, but
a lot less drinking water and a lot more smoking cigarettes. Truthfully,
yeah,
that's probably what it is.
Yeah. I answered I knew the answer.
Yeah.
But and on top of that, like the actress who plays Tatiana, she's 21 when they shot this. It's like, what the hell?
Oh.
Yeah. So I don't know what to make of most of that information, but again, we'll get into that.
We'll get there.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that this is a good version of that trope.
I agree. I think this one is a good version of it.
All right. Well, perfect. So kind of picking up where we left off from our Dr. No episode. Dr. No, huge hit. I think it made 20 times its budget back on its release, and became super popular. Basically, Broccoli and Saltzman decided that they were going to make one Bond movie a year, every single year, going forward. Which, in the making of documentary that I watched, they were like, the plan was simple. We were going to make one movie. Like, whoa, hang on, let's settle that shit.
Just the one?
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, they were going to produce other movies while doing that formula, which is just crazy to me. So, for the actual story of From Russia with Love, in 1961, John F. Kennedy listed that novel in his top 10 books of all time, which just skyrocketed its popularity. So that was what made Broccoli and Saltzman decide that they wanted to make that movie next. And it's also often regarded as one of Ian Fleming's best novels. So they gathered as much of the same crew as they could with the success of Dr. No, figuring they could just do it again. Their budget was doubled from $1 million to $2 million, and on top of that, which I found insane, is that Sean Connery received $100,000 on top of his already $54,000 salary.
Well, good for him, I guess.
Fuck, man. Like,
well, then you look at like actors nowadays, and it's like they're getting paid like $100 million a movie or some crazy shit like that. If you're Robert Downey Jr. coming back,
I was about to bring him up. What do you remember what he's getting paid for Doomsday? Because it's insane.
Give me a second. Let me look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, so I was right. $100 million.
That's like 50 from Russia with Love. That's fucking insane. Oh, man.
That is crazy. Yeah. What the fuck?
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Maybe we pay actors too much.
I don't want to put too much talk into the Doomsday shit of it all. I do want to talk to you about it sometime, but given that this is our sick episodes, if this stuff comes out like
right
a year from now, I guess my question is, do you think he's gonna be good?
Who, Robert Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
For $100 million, I sure fucking hope so. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Like you said, that's 100 Dr. No's.
Yeah. I can't wait to find out what the actual end budget of that movie is.
I just... No, thank you.
The amount of stars that are in that movie. It's just... Fuck. Alright. Well, getting into casting, speaking of which, many actresses who auditioned and got casted for this movie were former beauty pageant contenders, including our Tatiana and Daniel Bianchi, Najid Rajin, and Eliza Gur. For the role of Tatiana Romanova, I'm gonna say Romanoff at least 6 times while we record this, talking about Marvel some more. The actress's screen test were the scene where Bond finds Tatiana in his hotel bed. The scene would go on to be what many different Bonds and Bond girls would use to be their screen test. I don't know what to make of that, personally, but we can talk more about it in a second. When it actually came time to shoot that scene for Rio, Danielle Bianchi, she tried to keep her sheet tightly wrapped around her at all times, and that brief second of nudity was another actress that you could see through a paned glass.
Yeah.
But she said in a later interview, Sean naturally did everything he could to complicate things. Then Terrence made us repeat that scene so many times. Terrence really had fun with it, maybe because of my embarrassment. So, this is the most controversial thing I could find. It's not nearly as egregious as our Dr. No. And it's not even that she said anything bad happened, but this kind of shit just puts a icky taste.
Well, what does she mean by everything he could to complicate things?
It sounded like he would. I don't know. Yeah, that is a good question. It just sounded like
that right there makes me like. Did he? I don't know.
Yeah.
Icky, no good, no thank you.
But when she's giving this interview, she seems joyful while saying this thing. So I don't know. That's what makes my confusion even more. Is just that she doesn't seem like traumatized while giving this quote. She seems like, oh yeah, they were just being silly. Fuck, man, I don't.
That whole scene is just really awkward too. Like, he gets in there. He's only seen a picture of this gal and that one weird scene that we'll talk about later, where the whole telescope thing. Ugh. But this is the first time actually meeting her, and then he sees her in bed naked. And he's like, "Yes, I'm going to do that. That's what I want."
It's a great
Connery. She's a Russian spy.
Yeah.
Like, you were well aware that she is probably there, but she actually is to just use you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, the whole plan, you just have to trust that Bond is smarter than everybody, and they don't really prove it.
I don't know. In regards to, like, women, he's a goddamn moron. Like, that's literally his Achilles heel.
Yeah. His penis.
His penis? And Spectre clearly knows that.
Yeah.
Based on the one other time they met him. Well, it's like, they only met him one other time. But in that one time, he shagged, like, 3 of their agents.
Mm-hmm. God.
That's Jesus. I bet he's not even practicing safe sex techniques.
Oh, absolutely not. I didn't see that in the suitcase. I mean...
Not a single not a single rubber.
You think Q would have had, like... could have fit one more little gadget in there?
He had those little whole rolls of, like...
Yeah, coins.
He could have had one of those things.
Yeah, that's Jesus. A porn parody.
Man, sometimes I'm watching these movies and I'm like, is this a porno?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it feels like.
Here's my thing with like the treatment of women in these movies. If the character is consensual with what's going on, I'm chill with it, right? But as soon as Bond opens his mouth and says one of the most misogynistic things I've ever heard in my life, I'm like, all right, okay, movie, let's back up a little bit.
Hold up, buddy.
Yeah, you were talking about that scene where he only sees her lower half, right?
Yeah, what's the thing he says?
He says, from this angle, things are shaping out nicely.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like, it's hard to root for him, man. It gets hard to root for him. He says some other shit, too, throughout the movie. That was the one that really stuck out to me. Even earlier on in the movie, when we're with Sylvia Trench again, which, crazy Bond name.
I didn't even catch that. What the fuck?
Yeah. The fact that she's, like, going back and forth with him, like, their little banter, it's, like, cute. Like, obviously, this is, like, a one-night stand kind of situation. She hasn't seen him in, like, 6 months. And, like, it kind of loosely ties in with Dr. No. Like, it, like, makes it all, like, chronological. So, like that kind of seems like, okay, yeah, Bond's kind of cool here. And then he'll say some stupid shit that's like, God, fuck, man, shut up. So that's my thing about it. I don't know if you have a different opinion on it, but... No,
that's pretty much accurate. And here's the really weird thing. I love his relationship with Moneypenny.
Yeah.
Like, that shit, it genuinely just looks like a good, little flirty friendship, but, like, nothing too crazy. And it genuinely seems like they both have respect for each other. He doesn't, like, say anything too outlandish to her, from what I remember.
Yeah, well, and, like, Bond's not the only one making moves. She goes to, like, get really close to his face as well. So It feels more consensual, and, like, she knows his antics. And, like, when he calls her on the car phone while he's still with Sylvia and calls her an assignment or a case or something like that, And she's like, is that all I am now, a case? And then Moneypenny hears the entire conversation over the phone. It's funny banter. I think that's all I had about that matter. I'm sure we'll get it. Oh, yeah. So, there's a scene later on in the movie where Bond, like, smacks Tatiana's butt.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of thing where, in the context of the scene, like, it seems playful. Like, they're both on the same page there. They clearly just fucked, right?
What?
But if I ever
Before
find
marriage?
But if I ever found out that was an improv on Connery's part,
yeah,
it would ruin it for me.
It was rude for me, like, already, truthfully.
Yeah.
But that would make it a lot worse.
For sure. It does seem like the kind of thing that either Connery or the director were like, oh, let's add this shot real quick, and then she was like, all right, like that's the vibe I'm getting currently, which isn't great, but no. I don't know. Within the context of the scene, I can handle it.
Sure.
But you got anything else on that?
I'm sure we'll get back to the sexism later. It's a Bond movie.
Yeah. Ugh. But talking more about Daniela Bianchi. So she started learning English for the part, which I believe, what's her native language? Is she Russian? Fuck, I should have looked this up.
I think she is Russian.
Yeah. So the producers ultimately decided to just redub all of her lines with the British stage actress, which I don't know why this is such a trend in these movies.
Also, here's the thing. Why are they seemingly pretty good at dubbing actresses? Like, because I can't tell at all that it's dubbed. It looks pretty decent each time they've done it, and they do it quite a bit.
Yeah, like she's in like the entire movie.
Yeah.
It's just fucking... It's crazy. It's also like you're telling me you couldn't get a Russian girl who speaks English. Like, why? Like, I don't know. It just seems like, not that I think she's bad in the movie, but it just seems like they made this step to like complicate everything. And like going back to that making of documentary, like every interview clip that she has is she's given it in Russian, and they have someone like dubbing over her interview, which is just like she clearly barely learned English, if she learned it at all.
Yeah, I mean, the dubbing over of women's parts in these movies is apparently a trend too. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, it is weird.
I feel like I want to say she was treated better than the other Bond gals in the last movie, but that's not saying much.
Yeah, I like that she's in control.
Yes.
For most of the movie. I think the only time she is like truly an object is when Robert Shaw like knocks her unconscious.
Yeah.
But to continue on with that scene where she gets knocked off, I want to talk about that fight scene between Robert Shaw and Connery, because that's some cool shit. I mean,
pretty fucking solid. Like, holy fuck.
So apparently the director was a former boxer in college, and so he like choreographed that scene alongside the stunt coordinator Peter Perkins. And both Connery and Shaw insisted on filming most of the scene themselves. And if you're actually watching it, only a single shot in that entire sequence is their stunt doubles. And they even like added like this one shot of them breaking the window to add more noise to the scene to make it more thrilling within the sound design. And it is really intense. I really enjoy the choice to make Robert Shaw be blonde in this movie, because the scene's set at night. And I mean, obviously it's to like cut some seams and like make it not look like as much of a movie set. Like movies are still doing this, put it at night and then you can't see anything.
Yeah.
But because it's at night, like you can still tell the difference between the two because of their hair color.
Yeah. Which, and again, it also kind of goes back to like he is like Bond's mirror opposite.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to tie that together too. Just a fun, quick little fact that apparently Robert Shaw has stood on a crate in his scenes with Connery because he's actually like 4 inches shorter than him, which I always find those stories so funny. But like, talk about how like dedicated Connery was to his craft. Like that helicopter chase near the end of the movie, he's really dodging the helicopter that's like flying within feet of him.
like that. Like that's like. I mean, I could if you told me that Tom Cruise did that for Mission Impossible, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
When I saw that happening, I was like, holy shit, you can't fake that. Not with 1963 money.
Yeah. Right. We talked about how these 60s movies are so comforting to me. And I think part of the reason is because they can't fake shit the way that they can now. And when they do, the green screen and rear projection work that they had available back then, did they even have green screen back then? I think it's just all rear projection. Like, they had to have known it doesn't look nearly as good as shooting on location.
Right.
So they, like, knew that they had to do it for real. And I think it really adds something to it, to that charm that I was talking about previously. So to transition, like, with this same kind of idea, I also enjoy them because they, like, really trust their audience and reward them for their trust. They, like, really expect you to sit down and watch an entire scene of Bond snooping around his hotel room to make sure that there's no cameras in there. And they pay it off by watching Bond get run over by a fucking helicopter. You know? It's cool. It's cool shit. And I really, yeah, like I said previously, I really do enjoy this era of filmmaking. Honestly, like, I don't know where the cutoff is where this stops being like a trend, but we keep alluding to that if this movie were to come out now, like, that scene in the hotel room would just been like a bunch of quick shots of him looking around and be like, oh, okay, there's a camera, and then it'd be over. So I don't know where that stopped being a thing, but it did, and I like this.
No,
era.
absolutely, and you kind of not to derail, but kind of circle back a bit to that fight scene. I think one of the big things I really enjoyed about it was that it was in such a confined space. Compared to, like, a lot of fights nowadays, it's, like, wide open so they can do all these cool tricks and they can, you know, do that. But they were in a box room, essentially. And I just thought that was really cool. And it made it feel a lot more brutal, which it really was. Like, it was a pretty gnarly fight. Because as we saw, Grant was taking brass knuckle shots to the ribs and was feeling nothing to it. So, like...
Dude, that character introduction's so sick.
Dude, it is Ivan Drago up the wazoo. Like, he is the same character in Rocky IV. Like, it's not the same actor, but it's the same fucking character.
I just love how Cleb just punches him and goes, he seems fit enough. And like, that's such a good bit. And like,
what would she have done if he said, ow?
Found a different guy, I guess.
Whatever.
Yeah. I do enjoy the Kleb character too. I think it's only been one movie, but it does feel like they learned some of their lessons from Dr. No. Actually, I don't know if learn's the right word because I know they're gonna do this shit again. But they have a strong female antagonist in this movie, and they have a strong person of color in this movie in the character of, what a terrible name to forget, huh?
Ali Karim Bey.
Yeah, he's a cool character.
They say it so many times.
Yeah. Just embarrassing. I was really anticipating him being like a twist villain by the end of the movie, but no,
he was just a bro.
Yeah, and he stays a bro like the entire time. Like, I had some problems with Quarrel in the last film, with how he starts out being really cool, and by the end he's just like a kind of dumb idiot.
He's kind of a bitch. Yeah.
But here he's
Kareem is consistent.
Yeah. Equally cool throughout the entire runtime.
Like, it's like when he's got his arm in a sling and he's like, no, I gotta pull the trigger on this guy. And now he was ready to like let Bond like use him to like, you know, relax for the rifle. He's like, no, I gotta do this. And Bond's like, yeah, sure. But then they go and say, and they're talking about the billboard where the Russian guy's sneaking out and they go, pretty mouth on her. I'm like, I mean, I know they're trying to show that that's, like, the way to get out, but, like, I just say it like that.
Yeah. Or, like, she... what did Tatiana say? She's like, my mouth's too big. And he goes, it's the right size for me.
It's the right size for me.
Shut up. Like
that. We had a good thing going, you son of a bitch.
They said some other shit too. She in that billboard scene. They're like, She should have kept her mouth shut. Fuck, man. Like, you
Oh,
don't need to do that.
Come on.
And then, like, we get some more misogynistic things with the belly dancing and the wrestling. I don't know what the hell the point of the scene was. If, like, why do you need to do both of them? This is one of those scenes where both the women wrestling were, they found them in beauty pageants. They were, like, runner-ups for Miss Universe and shit like that. It's just, like, if this scene is only to be a distraction so that way they can blow up this Turkish get-together, why do we need both the belly dance?
Yeah, and like, what two people are, like, wrestling for, first off, for a man?
Yeah.
Please. But secondly, you're both doing it, like, in your underwear.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. I love your note.
Oh, yeah. So, Bryce talked about, do we need both the belly dancing and the wrestling match if we were just going to blow it into an action set piece? And my response in the comment was, Sean Connery probably did. Which, probably fairly accurate.
Yeah.
So.
God. And of course, the scene ends with Bond hooking up with both the women wrestling for him. Like, sometimes those scenes where he's hooking up with a woman, they can add to the story and the character. This one, they didn't even try. Like, they just like, oh, you could pick. And then it cuts to them the next morning hanging out, drinking coffee. And then it's the next location. It's like, okay, well, awesome. You know,
Great.
It's just clearly a lot of men and young men watched these movies when they came out. Like, a very impressionable audience.
Yeah, no shit.
Right. So, like, obviously, all characters shouldn't be polished. Like, I don't want every character to be perfect, right? Like, I don't hate that Bond would do this, but it's just to the extent of which they continuously have this happen. It just makes it seem too normal, you know?
Yeah.
And then when the actor comes out, like, 2 years after this, for the first time saying that it's okay to slap a woman in Playboy magazine, of all places. So you already look up to the character of Bond when you're, you know, a teenager in the 60s, right? And then you're finding a nudie magazine in your parents' cupboard, and then you find your favorite article in the nudie magazine. And it's just, I don't know. It does feel kind of
icky.
Icky and irresponsible, you know?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I don't know. We could probably do a whole dissertation on how the 60s Bond movies influenced modern misogyny, but, you know, that's a different podcast.
For sure. And, like, obviously, he's not the only culprit.
No. I'm not pinning every single thing on Sean Connery.
But it's really easy to.
He gives a compelling argument. I think the only time he wasn't sexist was when he was Indiana Jones's dad. Because there were no women around for him to object. What? Oh, was there?
Well, who's the Nazi woman in that movie?
Fuck. What did he say to her?
It's just implied that both Indy and Sean Connery both banged her. And he goes, she talks in her sleep. It's just like, fuck, man.
I stand corrected.
Yeah. Can't win with that fucking guy, huh?
This fucking guy. You know, he was in the running to be cast as Gandalf.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Thank
you
God.
Imagine? Well, no, it probably would have been fine because there's no women in those movies.
The trick is fine for the wrong reason.
I know.
Man.
You shall not pass.
Can he yell? Does he ever yell in movies?
Why would you say that to me? But my God, you might have a point. Does he? I don't know that he does.
He has to in Indy, right? Where they're like literally being set in a building on fire. Like, surely he yells in there.
No,
Junior!
he's too suave.
Junior!
I forgot he just called it Junior the entire time. Even though he's supposed to be American and he is Scottish.
We named the dog Indiana. I do appreciate that the movie's aware that Bond is a horn dog. Like, it makes it a little better.
But, I mean, you don't need to beat us over the head with the fact that he is one.
Yeah.
Like, I understand. We all know that.
But I bring it up because Karim Bey even has a line that talking about Tatiana, like how she's clearly manipulating him. Give a wolf a taste, then keep him hungry. And Bond goes, all I want is... Fuck, what the hell is the thing called? What's the doodad called? The lector? Yeah, whatever. He's like, all I want is a lector. And he goes, is that all you want? And she goes, well...
And then they both laugh about it. Like,
yeah.
What? No!
They slap their knees and then...
Well, I want to also draw some attention to Kareem. He is not innocent either. There is a scene where he straight up... Like, right before the meeting with Bond, you see a nice-looking lady leave his office.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a bed in his office. And then there's another scene right before, the bomb goes off in his office. He's about to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
They're everywhere.
They're everywhere.
That's the reason he has so many sons in this movie. It's like he's got, 20 of them.
Yeah. My son.
My son?
God, why is the Connery voice so fun to do?
Well, because it's not a real British accent. That's why.
Talking more about Karim, his story within this movie is just so cool and humbling. So after Dr. No premiered, very notable director John Ford called Terrence Young and asked if there was
familiar
a role.
with him.
Yeah, if there was a role for Pedro Armadillas to play, and he was pretty much immediately casted in that role. But right before shooting start, he got diagnosed with cancer, and about halfway through shooting, it was revealed that it was terminal, and he was in so much pain. But he was determined to finish the movie. So they went back to Pinewood Studios and shot all of his scenes in a 2-week period so that he could be done with the movie. And in those scenes where he's standing, they have something behind him to prop him up to lean onto. After finishing all those scenes, he went straight to dub any audio they would need from him. And this was basically all in an effort to leave as much money as possible for his family. He then took his own life on June 18th, 1963. And his legacy with the franchise continues because, obviously we really like this character. And 25 years later, his son appeared in License to Kill. Brief moment, not a very memorable scene or anything like that, but it is nice that, this is what I'm talking about when, the Broccoli family, they do feel like home movies sometimes. But we were talking about this when, Broccoli sold the rights to Amazon, and, we're just kind of worried about how that aspect of the Bond legacy is just going to be gone now and just a product, not just a family business. Because Bezos is never going to bring back an actor's kid who passed. That was in the second movie of the franchise. That shit's just not going to happen. I don't know what to make of all of it. I'm hoping for the best, but we really don't have anything concrete to go off of yet. Not to date this even more, but yeah.
No, that I didn't know that whole story about Pedro, so that's absolutely crazy. I think the takeaway from that is just you ever wake up and you're really tired and you don't want to go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Look what he just did.
Yeah,
he did all that, and it wasn't a minor role either. He was in most of the scenes.
Yeah. And I'm kind of curious if they killed him on the train so he could be done sooner.
I don't know. But honestly, actually, that scene on the train with him is one of my favorites because he sits down with this guy who's gagged or whatever. He pulls out his pipe. He goes, "I've had a long and interesting life. Would you like to hear about it?" It's just...
Yeah. He is a fun character. I wish we got more of him. I wish we kind of had like that Felix Leiter character again in this movie, just like a companion to Bond that he's not trying to bang, and like he fills that role. And what I mean by I wish we had more of him is that I wish he was able to do other movies in the franchise, kind of like what's it, Sala in the Indiana Jones movies where he's comes back a few times.
Yeah,
I wish it was something of that where
he reminded me a lot of this guy.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll do Raiders one of these days, right?
No.
Or whatever. But
can we do Dial of Destiny instead?
Oh, hell no, dude. I hear that shit. Have you seen that, by the way?
No. I'm not a monster. I did see Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. I have the DVD.
Yeah. God, he totally. Oh, so when Star Wars premiered, it was around. When would this have been? Basically, Spielberg and Lucas were talking, and Spielberg said that he wanted to do a James Bond movie, and Lucas said, "I have something better," and that's where the Indiana Jones character came to be. And it's just really cool because like there's so much James Bond infused in those movies. And I'm sure the more of these movies that we cover, like the more those layers will show themselves. But it is really cool that they got the original James Bond to be Indiana Jones' father.
Right.
I love that so much.
Because, I mean, the dude did 7 Bond movies, so like, he is like the guy, you know?
Yeah. God.
Despite how problematic he is. I just know this accent isn't going to translate as well over recording, and that's a real shame. Because it's kind of fire right now. Okay. Yeah. So, folks at home, it's pretty gas right now. So.
When it comes out of my mouth, it sounds great.
My mouth's too small.
I think it's the right size. I think it's the right size.
Whenever I get drunk and flirt with you, I'm just going to talk like Sean Connery.
This is going to be such a great bit for only 2 people, you and me.
Hey, man. It'll be a bit for everybody if they listen to this episode.
But, yeah, so, like, talking about, like, being curious about if they killed him off of the train early for all of those reasons. I couldn't find anything too concrete on this, but it seems that they started filming without a finished script, which it's crazy that, like, this isn't, like, a recent trend in movies. That
like, it seems to be a recent trend.
Yeah, this has been going on for a while, unfortunately.
It's tradition.
Yeah, Joanna Harwood's original screenplay followed Fleming's novel super closely, but she left the series due to Terrence Young's constant rewriting with ideas that were not in the original Fleming work. Richard Maibaum kept on making rewrites as filming progressed, and even in the credits, it's listed as screenplay by Maibaum and adapted by Harwood. Like, they didn't even link them together by the end of it because they changed so much shit.
How do you not have a finished script before you start filming? Like, this baffles my mind.
Yeah.
Like, we've talked about this how many times on this show, and we haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like it kind of sprung from this idea that the producers wanted to release a Bond movie every year until they ran out of gas, essentially. And they, like, went as far as, like, they had a release date announced to the public before, like, they even wrapped filming.
Maybe that's why.
Yeah. Like, they started filming April 1st in 1963, and it was released on October 10th. And they finished filming mid-August, which, like, he just... But, like, it wasn't, like, super intentional. Like, there was a lot of things that went wrong on this set. They attempted to shoot the film's final climax in the Gulf of Venice, but poor weather, rough waters, seasickness amongst the entire cast and crew caused them to change the ending. And instead of filming that boat chase in Venice, they moved to, I believe, Scotland. And while location scouting for that boat chase, Terrence Young took off in a helicopter and got about 30 to 40 feet in the air, like hovered for a second. Then the helicopter turned 90 degrees and crashed into the lake. The crew rushed to save him, an art director, and a cameraman, and they barely survived, having only a small pocket of air left by the time they got to them. The pilot was the only one who was able to escape on his own, and after rescuing Young, he was put in a sling and went right back to work. So from taking off in the helicopter to starting to shoot again was about 35 minutes.
Holy shit. I'm never going to complain about a bad day at work again. What the fuck? Honey, how was work today? Oh, it was fine. Anything fun happen? No.
And you show up in a sling.
What happened?
Helicopter accident, whatever.
You don't fly a helicopter? Oh, I know. What the fuck? Shit like that would, pause filming for months.
Yeah.
Nowadays, but back then it's like, oh, we have a timeline to keep to. This is really fun for me.
Wouldn't it be funny to be editing this and the accent just doesn't get picked up? It just sounds like your normal voice. I'm like, God,
this is gonna be really depressing. That's right. This will never see the light of day.
Yeah. We just can't be sick for the rest of this run.
There you go.
Yeah. And even more things went wrong, if you can believe that. They only had one chance to film that explosion in the boat chase, and it went off by accident while they were doing a rehearsal of it. So the special effects operator, John Steers, had one day to get everything back to location, just overnight shipping. It was just a freaking mad dash to get this thing done.
That's
and
crazy.
Thank God it looks great.
No, it looks awesome.
Yeah.
Holy shit, just walls of flame shooting up,
yeah.
And then, all the boats catching on fire. Very Michael Bay.
Not enough sparkles, though, if you ask me.
Not enough boats turning into robots.
That's my problem with most movies.
Well, yeah. Specifically boats or just any sort of vehicle?
Just boats. When I watch Jaws, fuck, that pisses me off, man.
Dude, if that thing was a Transformer, Jaws would not have stood a chance. I'm just calling it now.
Yeah.
If Peter Cullen was voicing the boat, it'd be all over.
We can only hope, man.
Yeah.
And then, on top of all that, on the last
We're
day...
not done yet.
We're not done. On the last day of filming in Scotland, they had an early shoot. And Daniela Bianchi's driver fell asleep at the wheel on the way to the shoot, crashed, turned over several times, and nearly ended up in a river. Connery was following another car, helped to pull her out. And luckily, she didn't suffer any major injuries, besides the fact that her face was swollen, which that delayed shooting for 2 weeks. So the director crashing in a helicopter was 35 minutes. And then your second build actress
rolls over.
Yeah.
But then here goes Sean Connery doing something really good.
Yeah. He's clearly not all bad.
He's a bad guy. He's just not a bad guy.
I'm not a monster.
Shut the fuck up, dude.
So after that one, the crew once again returned to Pinewood
Bryce,
Studios.
no more, please. I can't. What else could go wrong? I didn't read any of these, so this is very exciting.
That's the last of major injuries.
Okay. I thought you were about to say somebody just straight up blew up.
Yeah. No, that boat was real. They returned back to the Pinewood Studios. The film was over budget and way past schedule. Nearly every major scene in the movie was missing key footage, and some scenes that were filmed before the script was finished no longer made sense in the context of the film, which, go figure.
Hell yeah.
They had already announced the film's premiere, like we talked about, which was only 3 months away. So basically, Young gave editor Peter Hunt freedom to edit and try to organize everything that they did have. In that process, he made the choice to make the cold open before the title cards, and that choice would be a staple for this franchise to come. So during that editing process, that scene where Q shows up for the first time and explaining the exploding briefcase to Bond, Terrence Young arrived one day and wanting to see the progress, so Peter Hunt showed him the footage, and when Bond opened the briefcase, he cut to an explosion and then cut to credit. Which I love that kind of humor was still around in the 60s.
I'm
like,
glad people were
we
really
would do
weird
now.
back then, too.
It's like, we absolutely would do that shit now.
Like, I imagine they're all like in a room like, guys, you would be really funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I wish I was in the room so I could see Young's reaction to that.
He apparently fell out of his chair laughing.
Oh, let me see this.
Yeah.
Just the Looney Tunes exit music.
During those reshoots, they reshot the introduction of Blofeld, and they were out of money at this point. So they got this actor named Eric Pullman to be dubbed as the voice of Blofeld. They had the actor who played the professor in the previous movie, which we talked about, but I didn't realize that he didn't actually talk in this movie. It's just his hands petting a cat, essentially.
Yeah, like there's no face or nothing.
But because they couldn't recreate the set due to no money, certain shots of Rosa Klebb were achieved with rear projection. When they originally shot it, they sat her in front of a projected version of herself. It's just like a big version of her head, and then she sits close enough to frame that she covers it. And you can kind of tell if you're watching it when you know this, because like the way that the light is shifting because they're on a boat, the light just stops moving. And then like other footage that they just couldn't get again, they just basically used it twice but reversed the footage the second time. And I don't know, the movie came together somehow very well, all things considered.
Yeah, it's like a pretty good movie. Like, shout out to the editor. Holy shit. Because this is really good. Like that opening scene was so trippy, and it was like such an interesting intro. Like, holy shit, Bond's dead?
Mm-hmm.
No. Which, by the way, let me get to that. So, in this movie, they start off with Grant hunting, quote-unquote, Bond, who is actually just another Spectre agent in a realistic mask. Like, so realistic, in fact. It's played by Sean Connery, you know? Like, that's what it is. And then Grant chokes him out with a really cool, garrote wire, which is never brought up again, by the way.
He tries to kill Connery in the train scene.
Does he? Oh,
yeah.
Well, clearly that didn't work out well. Anyway, so then you look down, and Bond, quote-unquote, his face is suddenly super gray, like, holy shit, they just choked him out, he's dead. And then they just lift the mask off, and I'm like, wait a minute, wait. If Spectre has the capabilities to have such a lifelike mask, they should probably implement that a bit more. Not to go to Mission Impossible, but they do that shit all the time. Like, imagine the catfishing capabilities you could do with 007. Like, you dressed up as a really hot-looking gal, and then you pull the mask off, and it's just a dude.
Oh, okay. So when you started that sentence, I thought you were going to go the other way, where Connery was going to hide to sleep with more women. I was like, no.
No, don't give him more. Honestly, not enough sex scenes.
Is that your Connery impression again?
Take off the mask, I am Sean Connery.
I saw your Mission Impossible thing, and apparently the television show premiered in 1967. So I'm curious if this scene is where that idea is from.
Probably. Everything seems to be...
from Bond.
Yeah.
If that scene frustrated you, there are few things that frustrate me as much as when I'm watching a movie and the movie is requiring me to have prior knowledge on how a game is played.
The chess?
The chess. Now, this happened in the last movie with the poker scene. I don't know what the hell game they were trying to play in that movie, but this was a whole other thing. I barely know how the chess pieces move, and I was supposed to be getting tense about this villain I've never seen before, drinking a glass of water and getting checkmate. Whatever. Like,
I did notice, because I do play a bit more chess than you, probably.
Definitely.
Significantly.
Yeah.
My ELO is at, 800 right now, which is, high for beginners, but low for everybody else.
I don't even know what ELO means.
Basically, you're ranking, your win ratio. It's a whole... Anyways, in this, two guys are playing chess, and then the judges have, a bigger board, and they're moving all the chess pieces around. And at one point, he moves the queen to king 5, I'm pretty sure. I forget the exact thing. But then on the big board, it's not switched. So I just caught a fun little hot. You fucked up. Yeah, fucking idiot. Even though they showed a shot of him moving it over, and then the next shot was like a wide shot, and it wasn't switched.
Yeah.
Like, how'd you... Whatever, man. Whatever.
Apparently, that chess game... Did that, like, look like an impressive move at the end to you?
Well, I mean, a coup in chess is actually kind of impressive, so yes.
Okay.
I can't really explain it because I have a hard time understanding it, but from my knowledge, halfway decent.
Sure. Apparently, that final stretch of moves was from, like, a recent chess championship that happened. And they just, like, copied it, essentially. But they weren't sure if they could get sued for copying a chess tournament, so they just added a few extra pawns to make it seem different enough, and then they just did the...
I thought the pawn placement was a little weird, but...
Yeah. I just think it's so funny getting stressed out about getting sued over a chess match. Like, no.
Like, they have far more things to be worried about in the production of this movie. Like, let's be very honest with ourselves here.
Yeah. Imagine, like, crashing a helicopter and then getting sued because your chess...
Something I did really enjoy about this one, the suitcase. I thought that was really cool, like, prop design. Like, it had, like, the ammunition, the knife, the infrared scope, the coins you could secretly pull out, the tear gas in the little thing. Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't give me condoms. I don't use those. Those are for pansies. Anyway. And, like, we talked about how the suitcase is also a bomb. And the way to make it not a bomb was pretty interesting and pretty smart, so. Because you could see, like, James Bond, he's like, also, why would they test it right there? Here, test it right now. He's just like James Bond gives Q a look, he's like, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like,
right. Just
really?
Kill everybody in the office.
Just.
Yeah. I do like that they... Don't get me wrong, this is a huge exposition dump, but I like that they pay all of the gadgets off throughout the movie. And because they give you so much, you tend to forget. Like, the reason I wrote these down in our notes is just so I could make sure that they actually used all of them by the end of the movie. Mm-hmm. Which they did.
And a lot of them more than once.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, the suitcase you can only use once, but, like...
Right.
It is a bomb.
Yeah. I was expecting the bomb to be... When did he use the bomb, actually? I'm struggling to remember.
Right at the end with Grant.
But, like, wasn't that not the tear gas, or is that a different part of it?
Oh, did he use it? Now I'm blanking on it. Yeah. Great movie podcast. We're really earning it.
But
this is tragic.
They give you so much that you don't know what he's going to use in what order and when. So it does still leave it to be fun when he pulls out a random gadget. You're like, oh shit, he's got a knife right now.
Yeah, no, I liked how they leaned definitely more into, like, the spy vibe of this movie. Like, the first one, like, Dr. No had a little bit here and there, but this one definitely had a lot more, like, actual espionage.
Yeah.
And I was really happy to see that, especially, like, with the Cold War era where that was happening all the time.
Oh, for sure. And, like, the Cold War, like, the fact that they were... So, the idea of Spectre was created to be the antagonist rather than the Russians due to the Cold War and the Cuban Missile Crisis being so recent and the Cold War case currently happening.
Yes, it'd be like in Casablanca when you talk about how, oh yeah, we're going to win the war, and the war is still going on.
For sure. And, like, can you imagine if they were wrong?
That's tough.
Yeah, but like that espionage that you're talking about, I do enjoy it, but it is really funny to me that how they utilize the actual James Bond themes. Like, when an action sequence is taking place, they're not using it. But when he's performing a mundane task, like checking into a hotel and looking at his room, they got that score blasted.
Do you think that's where Zack Snyder got his idea for the Wonder Woman score? in the Justice League movie. It's like she enters a room. It's like, and every time too. It's like, all right, calm down.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe. Because, like, this is happening in the previous movie where Bond is checking his voicemail. And then they're
remember how we were talking about those weird cuts that we saw in Dr. No? There was like two of them.
Yeah.
I did notice another one right when he's like building the rifle for the first time. It was just the one. And I was looking for him. I was like, oh. I was doing like the Leonardo DiCaprio thing. I'd whistle, but I'm still working on it.
Aren't we all?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the fact that only one happened means they're getting better, so good for them. Good for the Broccolis.
Look at the Broccolis.
If we're talking about, like, other funny things that happened in this, the scene where, I don't know, they had a bank?
Fuck, I don't remember. I think so. Let's call it a bank.
Where James Bond asks the guy, hey, is that clock accurate? And the clerk, whatever, he's like, it's a Russian clock. Of course it's accurate. And then the bomb goes off. For some reason, that was the funniest shit I've ever heard. Russian clock is always correct. Like, I genuinely screamed laughing out loud. There may have been an IPA or two being had while I was watching this. But, like, I don't know, it just, that itched my brain in the proper way.
Yeah. I think that's how they intended you watch these movies. IPA in hand, and
well, I believe
cigar.
It would be a. Would it not? What did you say?
A big cigar.
Oh, I thought you said sleeping powder. I was like, no.
That's how I intended you to watch the movie.
I knew it was coming. Although I'm pretty sure they intended you to watch these with a martini.
Shaken, yeah.
Not stirred. Not made by a woman.
Fuck, man, geez. Hey, that's you.
No, that was Sean Connery. That wasn't me. Drake, you're starting to sound a lot more like Sean Connery. Who? It's like the Venom symbiote. Sean Connery's taking over. Oh boy.
I do see here in your notes that you felt the Austin Powers influences more on this one. Like,
well, yeah, with like, you know, the cat and everything, and
sure,
like calling them like by numbers or whatever, and then they keep coming back more and more. And obviously, I know as I keep watching them, there's gonna be even more.
Yeah. I misspoke previously, but when the Brosnan era films are coming out, the Powers movies were coming out the same year as like the last three of them. Which is so funny. And I was looking at comparing them, and every single one of the Powers movies I prefer over the Bond movie that came out that year, which is
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But or is it a shame?
No,
I don't think so.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
So you did sound too much like Sean Connery doing that one.
Shagadelic, baby.
You ever seen those videos? I don't know why I've been getting these, but like somebody will like hire an Austin Powers impersonator for themselves. It's like he shakes his hand. He's like, "Oh, strong grip. You must live alone."
I saw one of those today, and it's just Jesse Pinkman shows up like, "Hey, bitch,
yo, this is my own private domicile, and I will not be harassed, bitch." How would you feel about whenever you have a bachelor party? We get an Austin Powers impersonator.
I think that'd be funny for maybe 10 minutes. It's like, okay, all right, I got it.
No, baby.
I can't believe Vanessa, my true love, was a fembot this whole time. Crikey, that means I'm single again. Yeah!
That whole, I know we're really going off the train of thought here, but the whole scene where he's just dancing naked. No, those are some crazy opening credits. I liked a lot more than the opening credits for this one, actually. Holy shit. They were so damn hard to read.
I do like the trend that the Bond movies do on paper, but when you're me trying to write down the cast as the credits are popping up, it's like, fuck, man, like, stop shaking around. Like, I can't see.
Stop shaking that thing! For the love of God.
Something Sean would never say.
Something that Sean would never do, waving goodbye to the porn tape at the
end. that shot is so goofy. Just and his hand coming into
it's the last shot of the movie. We're just, bye-bye. Fond memories.
And, like, could the film still... Like, film could still work, would it not? Like, it's just floating. Like, could someone catch it and still watch the tape? Like, is it ruined?
I think that stuff, like, gets ruined, yeah.
Does it dissolve? Or, like, what even happens?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look this up. Can porn survive what? It does not look like... Yeah, it would not survive whatsoever. Sean was onto something there.
I did want to kind of quickly go over, like, how, like, critics, like, saw this movie. Like, as we talked about at the beginning, this was, like, Dr. No was a success.
Yeah.
And so I got a little review from Richard Roud, who was writing in The Guardian, comparing the film to its predecessor, Dr. No. Richard Roud wrote that From Russia with Love, quote, didn't seem quite so lively, quite so fresh, or quite so rhythmically fast and moving. He went on to say that the film is highly immoral in every imaginable way. It is neither uplifting, instructive, nor life-enhancing. Neither is it great filmmaking, but it sure is fun. And you know what? Yeah.
I did feel the pace was a lot slower this time through.
It certainly was. Like, that first one was just like...
Yeah.
Scene to scene to scene.
While I was even writing my notes, I sort of figured out why, is that it just seems like they had too many ideas. Going back to that belly dancer and wrestling match scene, pick one, you know? And then they had, at the end of the movie, they have both that helicopter chase and the boat chase, like, within a 5-minute period. It's like, I would have rather seen a much longer helicopter chase or a much longer boat chase than half-assedly do both of them. Mm-hmm. You know, because, like, the more locations you have, the more it's, like, obvious that the movie's taking forever to wrap up. Like, when the train is 20 minutes long, and then your big set piece at the end of the movie is, 2, it starts to show its head. And it's, like, setups and payoffs, and, like, the payoff is cool, but it's also not enough at the same time.
Right.
So that's kind of where I am on it. There's obviously, like, little things that if you cut them out, it could make the movie a little faster, like Bond hooking up with the wrestlers. But, like, that's only saving you 15 seconds. It's so unnecessary. But every 15
also
seconds.
Also, that scene is unnecessary.
Well, I know.
They do a montage in the middle of the movie.
Yeah. The villain's plan gets a little tough to follow for me sometimes, too, which also drags things down. I'm not really sure what the hell the device is supposed to do.
It's a cipher / Morse code cracker.
Okay.
So, like, when the Cold War is going on and stuff like that is happening, something that can crack near any code.
Sure.
Pretty good. It's a better plot device than whatever Dr. No was going on.
That is true. Maybe there's just too many villains in this one. Obviously, Robert Shaw's the cool one, and then following it up with Kleb. Like, I like those two, but the number 5, is that his name?
Yeah, the guy that was doing the chess.
Get him out of here. I don't know.
Yeah, he seemed pretty useless.
Yeah.
Like, he came up with the plan, but then Kleb got all the people for it, executed it, was on the ground for it.
Yeah.
But it's his plan.
And she also had an action scene. Like, he didn't do anything. Like,
he played chess.
I wish he had a better character introduction. Like, obviously, I'm not crazy about the chess scene, but at least he had one.
I think it was just to show that he's, like, really smart.
Whatever.
Yeah, that was my reaction. Sure.
How do you feel about the pace of it, though, overall? Like, do you...
It definitely was slower, for sure.
Okay.
But I don't think it was horrible.
Yeah. I don't know where it started to lose me, to be honest. I want to say it was around
It was the multiple endings for me. I thought the train was going to be the climax. Then I thought the boat chase was going to be the end. And then I thought it was the helicopter. And then it was the sex tape.
And then it was that scene in the hotel where he pushes her against a wall with a chair.
Yeah, like what the hell?
Out of the 3 endings, I guess 4, which one would you have preferred to be the ending?
Train mixed with club.
Yeah, like maybe when the train stops, she's there.
Mm-hmm.
That would have cleaned it up. And then maybe like put like the boat and helicopter. Maybe if it was just spaced out differently, because there's not really like a big action set piece before the train, is there not? Or am I forgetting?
I feel like they underused the train quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. You got anything else, or you want to wrap up?
I think I'm good to wrap up. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about the theme song? Because this is like they finally like really hone in on it in this one.
I think it's classy. I like the tone of this song. I think it fits the tone of the movie very well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the most memorable one. It's tough to know how big of a deal these songs were back in the day. Like, obviously we could look it up, but we didn't. But, like, we know that, like, Skyfall. Like, I think that's, like, the biggest Bond song of all time. As far as, like, charts and being played on the radio and everything like that's concerned. So, I don't think it deserves to be in that level also. But,
right.
did get a Golden Globe nomination. So, whatever that's worth.
Yeah, it did get that. So, yeah, pretty much summed it up pretty well. I think it's good. It's classic. Out of all the Bond songs, it's definitely, like, fine.
Because these are going to get hardly associated with the opening credits. So comparing this to last episodes, do you prefer when it was just the John Barry score, or do you kind of like having like a different tune every time?
I think each Bond film does well with doing both. Because you got to have it be its own thing, but also the overarching, Bond theme is important.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's all for this episode.
Oh, I almost did the outro in the voice, but I won't. All right. Thanks for tuning into today's episode. If you've enjoyed this one, be sure to comment, like, and follow along so you can know when we release another episode. As always, I'm Drake, and this is Bryce, and this is Oh Brother. See you in the next one.